Before I begin, I'd just like to clarify that I love my parents, and this video is purely done for comedic purposes. I understand that some people may not understand my parents' mentality or their parenting practices, but I can assure you that no humans or marshmallows were harmed in the making of this video. Without my parents, I wouldn't be the person I am today, so I owe all of my success as a person to them. And so, without further ado, here we go. So, these are my parents. When they were growing up, let's just say that they didn't grow up in the best conditions possible. You see, for my mom, she was born on a mountain. Literally, a mountain. And so every day she had to walk from her mountain village to the school in the valley, even in the worst weather conditions. And on top of that, every time she came back from school, she had to clean, cook, and take care of her family. And not to mention their animals. For my dad, he was born in a factory, with a lot of mice. As a kid, my dad had to work countless hours to provide for his family. And I think that really got to him. For both my parents, they both aspired to escape their poor conditions and live better lives in North America. So, unlike their peers who didn't take school that seriously, let's just say that they worked their butts off. Literally. And after years of clawing their way to the top, my parents successfully graduated from the same university, got married, and had me. So you're probably wondering, Manny, what's the point of you telling us this? Well, the answer is actually quite simple. You see, because my parents had extremely harsh childhoods, they wanted to protect me from the harsh realities of the world. So, to do this, they decided to raise me in a very protective manner. But as you can probably tell, this kind of backfired. To give you an idea, when I was young, my parents got their news from the radio, and they would always hear stories about kids drowning at the beach. Whenever I went swimming, my parents were always paranoid that I would drown, so they would always make sure that I wore my life jacket. And I'm not talking about one of those normal-sized life jackets. I'm talking about one of those life jackets that make you look like a giant orange. And to make matters worse, my parents also made me wear a water tube because they didn't think that the life jacket on its own would keep me safe. By the time I actually went swimming, you could probably tell the whole experience was incredibly embarrassing. But that actually wasn't the most embarrassing thing. When I was in elementary school, I was enrolled in my school's lunch program. Basically, it was this thing where families signed their kids up and the program provided them with free lunch. This seems pretty sweet, but because I had a peanut allergy, I never enjoyed the free food, and as a result, I had to bring my own lunch. Being overprotective, my parents never trusted me with knives or anything hot, so they prepared my lunch for me. But due to their tight schedules, they sometimes forgot to give me my lunch, so when they realized that they forgot, they came to my school to deliver my lunch. The problem is, they did this at the most awkward times possible. And even worse, at one point, when I was in elementary school, they stopped an entire school assembly just to do so. But I digress. Probably the most intense experiences I've ever had with my parents occurred at dinner time. As I said before, my parents grew up in tough conditions. As a result, they didn't have much food growing up. Like any other parent, my parents always wanted me to have the best nutrition possible. But to be honest, I don't think they knew how they were going to accomplish this. You see, being that they were overprotective and all, my parents always directed me what foods I should eat. Also, my parents always had this tendency to put more and more food on my plate. And by the time I was done having dinner, instead of having 1 or 2 plates worth of food, sometimes I would have had at least 8 plates worth of food at one go. And honestly, this probably explains why I always felt extremely full after dinner. So everyone, those were some of my experiences with my overprotective parents. Are your parents like my parents in that they wanted to protect you, but basically did the opposite? Please feel free to leave a comment and discuss your stories. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more content. Without further ado, have a nice day.